You have money?
$2,000.
Are you in debt?
Yes, sir.
How much?
270 grand.
Well, now you're only 20
God
grand in
damn.
debt. Because we're going to get paid 250 grand each by the judge.
I was not part of the court case.
Oh, really? Well, maybe you are. Vinny said everybody. Vinny said everybody's getting money.
I was on the fucking court case.
I think he said there was like 8 people or something.
By, Charles.
Yeah, you're right.
Charles
All
and
right,
Rusty.
never mind, you're poor.
I mean, Charles and Rusty ain't never gonna show their faces again. I'll take their cut.
All right, let's warp in here. What the fuck is that, Wendy? Wendy,
We ain't getting paid yet,
fuck.
bud. Don't
Wait,
worry.
What do you mean we're not getting paid?
But I was here
What do
before
you
all
mean
of
we're
you,
not
man. I'm
getting
here for my
paid?
money.
Well, see, the ultimate settlement is up to the judges, and we decided that that's too much money, and we're only going to give you $20.
Too
Actually,
much money.
$37. I'm feeling generous.
Quite frankly, I should get 250 grand because I spent 3 years in prison while Randy was in his
man.
room beating his meat. So
Excuse
actually,
me, we
you should
both
just give me
deserve the money.
Randy's money as well.
I'll tell you what.
Whoa,
I'll
whoa,
tell you
whoa,
what,
whoa.
Mr. Chang. I'll give you $37 for every year you were in prison.
Now multiply that
Cheapskate
by
motherfucker,
about
Kyle.
24 million might years, and now we're looking at 250 grand.
Yep.
Chat, he's
All right.
trolling. Obviously.
So, yes, you'll probably get paid, but you're not going to get paid right now.
Alright,
I'm
so
not-
what's
I'm
the
gonna
deal with
explain to you
on the wheel? What's the deal? What's going on?
All right, I'll explain to you why. So, in this case, the DA's the defendant, right? Because you're the one suing. The state's
Right.
the defendant, right? Well, the state is asking for the case to be closed. Now, imagine that you're in jail for attempted murder, right?
Right.
And then your lawyer goes up to the cop and says, "You know what? Let's just close the case and let my client out." What do you think the police and the judge is going to say?
Well, I mean, it's different because they're the ones that did this all in the
Is that
first
a
place.
default judgment?
Right. Which means, right, that it has to be settled to a judge. So Murphy's going to have to talk with the DA, agree to the terms, and then the DA and Murphy are going to go to the judge
who's
that's
the
presiding over
DA?
the case,
Wait,
Miss West.
Miss
Is
Why
that a
did the
conflict of
DA
interest?
change
Doesn't he
so
have to do the
much?
dealing with not the DA since the DA being sued and then they had judge have to come to a settlement?
The
Doesn't
DA is not
state
being
direct-
sued. The state's being sued. The DA's representing the state.
Oh, but okay, if the
So what
state's
happened
being
with the
sued,
court case?
Didn't the DA agree on the fucking? I'm so confused.
They can. The DA can agree on the settlement, but they'll have to agree with that with Murphy. Murphy has to accept. They have to take that acceptance to the judge. The judge has to approve it, and then it gets closed.
Why
All
does
we
the
have right
judge
now
have
is
to
just the
approve
DA.
it if it's the state's money and the state is saying they will give it because the DA represents the state?
Well, that's another option. Murphy can always take the money from the DA and say, "Okay,
So,
we'll
yeah,
settle and we'll
basically,
close the case." And
you're
you
just
can do it
putting
that
on
way.
Murphy giving the go-ahead, the exception.
Correct.
Alright, fair enough. And what happened to the case in the first place?
Apparently, Mr. Savage is gone, and
Bro, I swear to God, I feel like the DA
Good riddance, man.
fucking
Good
change
riddance.
every month.
so it went from this case was started by O'Sullivan, and then Miss Sullivan dropped out after I denied the case because it wasn't filed correctly.
What the fuck?
And then after she dropped out because that case was filed improperly, I guess she didn't like it. Then Mr. Savage took the case, and Mr. Savage didn't have the commitment to be or time or whatever to put into the case or whatever. And
Yeah,
he
but they got
dropped
the
out,
time to throw
and he
me in
quit.
jail for 3 fucking years, huh? They got the time to throw
That's
me in
true.
jail for 3 fucking
That's
years,
true.
huh? I'm sorry.
Well, Miss Sullivan and the CID had the time to throw you in jail. It wasn't Mr. Savage that threw you into jail. He just had
Unlawfully
that-
throw him in jail, that is.
you know, allegedly, yes. But Mr. Savage had that burden thrown onto him. That wasn't a burden that he went after himself.
Where do you
Yeah,
find these
whatever.
amateurs, dude?
But
Randy, what's your court case looking like?
I won both of them, bud. They're like, fuck this, we ain't going to court, I'm just gonna give you the money. Poor Mr. Murphy, man, put so much time and effort, and you motherfucker, I mean, I'm sorry, Your Honor, not you. But you guys just say, yeah, fuck it, we fucked up, I'll pay you the money.
You guys realize it
All
might
right,
be
fair
more
enough.
beneficial to deny them settling out of court and to go to court, right? You
I
guys
can do
realize
that.
you
We-
could probably get more money.
I'm down, to be honest.
Well, I don't see that as a way. There's not really a way to get more money doing that because there was already a request sent. We, as judges,
Yeah.
we're upset about this. We would rather see it happen in court.
I would love to
Because
see it
that's the
happen in
whole
court.
point.
You know, after all this, I did the time in jail. These
I
lawyers
agree.
busted the
I
asses.
agree.
Let's give
I
them
agree.
a case.
But we're just judges. We're just
Yeah.
judges. We, people bring us cases and we judge on them. We can't force them to take them or any of
Oh,
that.
so technically we could take this to court and still get paid $250K either
So
way, right?
basically what you're saying is
Yeah, let's just fucking take it. Fuck it.
the
I mean, you're gonna be
police
going up
department
against no,
are
no
backing out
defense.
like we're the bitches. Okay.
I mean, you could take it to court. You could deny the settlement and take it to court, but you're going to be going up against a podium with nobody there.
Easy
Oh,
case,
they're not
huh?
going to show up?
That's all the
Well, no, because they bowed out.
Or can't they get like contempt or some shit? Lock them all up. Fuck it.
Well, I mean, they
mean,
could show up and
if
just
they-
say they just don't say anything.
If they locked me up unlawfully or whatever you would call it, and I was in there for 3 years for no reason,
Allegedly.
wouldn't they have to show up to court if I'm the one like suing them or whatever?
Well, you're not
No,
really
that's not
suing the
allegedly.
DAs.
That's not allegedly. It's been was put in jail for no fucking reason.
They pretty much accepted it.
There was
Well,
no evidence,
allegedly.
nothing. That's a fact. That's not
Allegedly,
alleged.
Mr. Chang, we haven't had the court case to determine that yet, and it
Well,
hasn't
why
been
was the
settled yet.
first court case thrown out? Because all the evidence was garbage.
The first case was thrown
This is
out
so
because it was
embarrassing, man.
filed as the charges being RICO, and RICO isn't a charge. It's what you would file your case under
So
with
then
the
I was
actual
locked
charges.
up on unlawful charges.
Well, that
Hanks,
case could have been refiled
My
correctly.
my
and it never
rights
was.
were stepped on.
That's what you have to prove in court.
So they would have to go to court, is what I'm saying.
Well, not necessarily, because the DA is not the defense. The state's the defense, and the DA can choose whether or not.
I'll
they
be
wanna
honest, this doesn't make
represent
sense to me at all.
Yeah, but someone would have to show up, no?
They would have to if they did something that's against the law to me, and I'm taking them to court. Wouldn't they have to show up to court?
the state. I mean,
Like
they
a
wouldn't
cop or
have
something
to.
would have to show up.
I mean,
They could just say,
what
"Nah,
you
I'm
guys
good."
are looking for, right?
Oh, I'm
Because
gonna do that
if we
next
would've
time I
give-
get sued, bud.
I'm gonna give you my personal opinion on this, right?
Honestly, I
Whoever,
have no
whoever
clue. So I'm
represents
serious.
in court, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna rip them apart. Whoever you go up against, they don't have a chance in hell, right? So basically, right now you're just looking for a glorified whipping boy that had no hands in the case whatsoever.
I'll be honest. I'm super confused. I just take my money whenever it
Alabama
comes.
Slim, Cop Killer Records. What the fuck you
Yeah,
want?
me too.
Alright, what's going on?
Wait for Mr. Brown to do his part. Trust me, I'd love to see it go to court. We've already talked about loving to see it go to
Yeah,
court. But
I was
it's
just
not
talking
gonna
about
happen
like
apparently.
future situations where, if you get
Right.
arrested for something you actually didn't do, and you try to take them to court, and they're just like, nah.
The issue with this is a case that's been passed to DAs after DA after a DA that had absolutely nothing to do with the actual case. So they're getting handed basically a shitball that they don't want to be a part of. All this is Miss Sullivan's case. This wasn't Mr. Savage's case. This wasn't Miss West's case. This wasn't Miss Dupre's case. It wasn't any of their cases. It was Miss Sullivan's case, and she quit.
Wow.
Wow.
Alright, so
Wowee.
pretty much it's just each person that got passed on to just got a bigger pile of shit on their plate.
Exactly.
Yeah, not one of them wanted to just say, hey, fuck it, this shit done fucked up, let me try and fix it. They said, let me just keep pushing it through, motherfucker.
Yeah, and then the last person now, I guess, just saying, fuck it, let's try to fix it. And give them the money.
And move on,
Man, I
finally.
seen that
Thank
Rory
fuck for that.
O'Banion ad, motherfucker. That motherfucker's smart.
It's kind of
Good
cute.
night.
I've
Think
been
Mr.
wondering if
O'Banion
it
will
would suck me
represent the
off,
state?
but kind of nervous to ask.
I don't know,
Wait.
maybe. Who know, motherfucker?
I mean, I'd love to see Mr. O'Banion represent the state on this case.
I mean, Mr. O'Bain, you probably take any case. You look like a real
You know-
motherfucker.
How about
He
that?
did want to be a
Habib?
DA, so that would be right down his alley.
Yeah, chat, chill out, because at
What
the
was
end of the day,
Habib's dude named the fucking
I don't know what the
lawyer?
fuck I'm talking about.
I feel like he was good.
Which lawyer?
Habibi. That's all I can remember.
Only person I know that says Habibi's out
Either
there.
way,
I
it
don't
sounds like
think
we're
he's
gonna
a
get some
lawyer.
money.
Not Abdul, but like his name was Habibi.
A baby.
He was. Great.
Give me more Habibi. Oh, I remember. Fuck. Actually, I don't remember.
Alright, well, I guess we'll be in touch then, Judge. Whenever that time comes.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bud. Alright, the only time I ever see a judge is around this time,
Top
and it's
killer
fucking
records,
you.
what your old ass
Oh yeah,
want.
you're the only judge I
You just pay me
ever
now.
see.
Well, thank you.
Actually, I was
That's
seeing,
what I'm saying.
Pay me in
what's
advance.
her name? The World Beautiful Wine? Nice lady.
Judge LeBar?
Nina.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, Nina. Oh, that's interesting. Your description of beautiful in a lady is Judge Wabar?
I mean, he does have a nice complexion. He is a ginger.
Back.
He looks like that
Facts.
one prick, Adam Hopping.